We're live. Just to keep him on his toes.
I want you guys to understand the amount of stress that Chris gets delivered in the like 30 seconds leading up to starting the stream.
You ever defused a bomb? I have.
Have you watched The Hurt Locker?
I've never defused a bomb, and it's probably nowhere near that kind of stress level.
Oh, it's that kind of stress level. Dealing with me?
I'm confident in saying it's probably not that close.
Very close.
Defusing a bomb or talking to Jason.
Very, very
close. That's
close.
the name of your autobiography.
I think very, very close.
I'm getting YouTube chat set up.
To being the same thing.
Welcome in, everybody. Hey, it's a giveaway day today.
Aye.
Jason, welcome in.
What are we giving away, Chris?
We're giving away the Weird West Villains.
Wait a minute.
The trio.
Are you
Whiplash,
saying?
Willy.
Whoa.
We're giving away all three today.
Whoa.
Yeehaw!
Whoa. We're giving away all of them?
All of them. All three. Those are my little pea shooters.
I did not approve this.
You did. You actually did.
I did not approve this.
You were like, Chris, we're going to give away all three Weird West villains today. And I said, okay.
Oh, I was going to say, when did Hoopty-Hoopty-Hoo happen?
Hoppity-Hoopty-Hoo, Lumberjack. We got Monster Den Minis. What's up, Avian Gilborn? F-Man, thank you for that sub. You get a little clap. Colossal Meltdown. Rattle Can. Chaos Angel. Cats. That Chai Cat. Skinner. Sazzle. Kitty Soul. Scorched Earth. Mullets. Ghost Hunter, and I guess Jason.
Wow, you literally just said Ghost Hunter, like, oh, and Ghost Hunter.
No, and Ghost Hunter.
He did, though, Ghost Hunter. He said that. I felt it, Ghost. I'm with you. How is everyone doing? I'm doing great.
I'm doing 50-50.
He's 50-50.
Yep, that's a pretty good day. A doctor would describe your pain tolerance. If you say a 10 to a doctor, like, what's my pain level? That means your leg is off. So when I rate things from a scale from 1 to 10, if I say 5, that's pretty dang good. If you really think about it. 10 is like Nirvana, I've ascended. That's like when you're like, hey, how good are you?
I thought you just said 10 was you lost your leg.
No, I'm saying that's why I rate so difficult on a scale from 1 to 10, because it goes the other way too. So if I say I'm a 5 today, that's really good. But everybody's like, I'm a 9, I'm an 8. And that's it. I say, I'll tell you. A fifth of whiskey.
Oh, Jesus.
You're not allowed to laugh in there, you.
Is that Gabe?
No.
Is Gabe in there laughing?
If that isn't Gabe Wording, that's Gabe.
Oh.
There is a random.
Oh, there was a possibility it was not Gabe.
Dunbris, what's going on? 17 months. Welcome in, everybody. Something's cooking on the Pro Grill.
That was very funny, by the way, the Pro Grill.
That is funny. Super duper John.
I really enjoyed that. I got a kick out of that.
You're a silly man. Gilmore says, question for Skin. Trying to put your undertone method into practice, but working on Mephisto for MCP. He's got red skin. What should I do for that undertone?
Gilmore,
the
purple and the yellow work really well.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to have necessarily a mid-tone to replace the red in it. You can just go purple and then like yellow, green, stuff like that over the top works really well. That would be my suggestion.
Jason.
Sir, yes, sir.
I wanted to say something to you before we started today.
You've been saying things to me all day long, and I'm done.
Yeah, I know.
I'm done. I don't need you to say anything else to me unless...
This was going to be a compliment.
Unless...
Yes?
Unless it's Jason.
Jason?
I really enjoy working with you.
I do.
You are a guiding light in my life.
You're a light of some kind. In a dark, dark place for me.
I am a light in the dark, dark place is what he says. Okay.
You're a guiding light, Jason. And you have guided us into a beautiful giveaway stream today. And here's what I will say. This is what I was going to say. Jason, I appreciated that you cleaned off the desk for the shoot today. I didn't even have
All
to
I did
do
was
that.
put the. Well, I did. I cleaned some models off, didn't I?
You did. You put them over here. And
I cleaned a bunch of models off, and I cleaned all the paints off.
yeah, I'm gonna.
Which I just now had to spend time putting back up here because I did need those.
That's right.
So
I appreciate
but
you.
I have made space here.
Yes.
I
good.
listen because Dad yells at me every now and then.
Yes. Yes.
So chat, we did this. Chris and I did this today.
Look at this guy.
And in a little brief video explaining the one steps.
Yep.
We did this guy.
Today.
And I think I'm literally in one video
hours.
shoot. We just did kind of step by step interaction with this, and I think it turned out amazing.
The skin, that skin workup you did was pretty cool.
Yeah, just really, really quick. So this will be coming out in a couple of shorts just describing what one step does, how it works, all that, and this was all one step. The metallics, everything.
That yellow right out of the bottle, man.
Yeah, this is just the yellow right out of the bottle. That's great.
Pretty potent.
This is a great model. This is from Dr. Rhino's Psychopomp game. I don't remember what the guy's name is. We call him Lou Jin.
Dr. Rhino, shout out one of our monumentals. He's making a game, and we'll probably be super excited that we use that for the entirety of that video.
That entirety of the one-step intro videos is painting that, except for one, because we also painted a Terminator.
Which that guy came out great.
That's just literally green, the dark green one step, and then a quick dry brush of bright pale green. That's it.
Yeah.
It's insane how well that did. There's your whole army. Your whole army's done. Thank you. Thank me later. Buy one step. Oh, you can't. Sorry.
Coming very soon.
Hold on to your
Late
paychecks and buy some one step here pretty soon.
Or spend it immediately on April 13th, where these guys will be coming out. Weird West Villains, all three, and the Expert Series 2 come out April 13th, so get ready for that. That's coming up soon.
Lies. That can't be real.
That is real.
It can't be real.
You guys can get all three.
I don't think it could.
And the new 6.
I don't think it could possibly.
Chrome Oxide Green happens to be one of my favorite green colors. You should do that somewhere, Jason.
What?
On this model.
I did. It was his skin before we did the glaze over it.
Are you going to do anything else with the skin?
Yeah.
Are you going to glaze, or is it now just the highlighting steps?
Highlighting, glazing, whatever it takes.
The whole thing.
Whatever it takes. Here's the amount of cups we used during the video. That's
good thing they
8. Yeah, 8 cups. We used 8 cups.
That's a lot of cups, Jason. We got a lot done within the. That's what I like about a good shoot, is that when something goes well and you do it, you take a day that then produces work for a month when you really think about it. Obviously, over the span of today and now to One Step, we're going to be releasing some videos for you guys, and you have already seen some of the power of it, but
yeah,
that's what we're doing. Good story, right? I'm sticking to it.
See, they got a front row seat because we've been doing it like a lot.
That's true.
On the stream.
Everybody knows it's coming.
Why did I do that?
Plus, we've also been teasing all the colors. You already know. Destro's asking, great question. Did you guys happen to talk about the difference between the pigments in primary magenta and quinacridone magenta? I don't know if it's French.
We have. You want if it's French? The pigment is the same. The process, the primary magenta, has white in addition, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the
the
single pigment, magenta, is no white added. We got asked specifically when we released the Expert Acrylics if we would do a single pigment magenta because so many people use it for glazing in flush areas on skin tone.
Okay.
And so I said yes. It was Kaha.
Yeah.
Katerina Gorska, who asked me first, and then Christoph and everyone else that touched them said the same thing.
Single pigment magenta.
Single pigment magenta.
Quidon. Is that how it's pronounced?
Quinacridone.
Oh, it's quidon.
That's much better. And what else did I add in? I had nickel azo yellow to my leathers, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I want a true-ish CMYK for mixing. Oh, okay.
Well, that's why you use the primary with the white in it. The primary magenta is made for CMYK painting. That's exactly why the one with white exists. The white doesn't affect it for anything until you glaze with it, and you want the darker tones out of glazing. For mixing, you want to make sure that its opacity is on par to where you can 1-to-1 mix it with yellow and get your reds, 1-to-1 mix it with blue and get your violets, or with a cyan and get your violets. You need to make sure that your primary yellow, primary cyan, primary magenta are of substantially in the same range opacity so that you can mix them 1-to-1 and get what you want. When you start using the pigment as it exists in the real world with its transparency, you would find yourself having to add way too much magenta to yellow and blue because it is so much lower opacity. So primary magenta for CMYK painting, quinacridone for glazing, and purposeful use of it for its opacity, its lack of opacity, if that makes sense. The primaries with the white are what you want to be using for mixing. They mix bunches and bunches better.
Stan says, I have to ask, okay, was the product you were trying to make when you stumbled upon One Step an acrylic panel liner, as the capillary action of One Step is incredible for an acrylic?
No, but it does do that very well. That was a further down the road kind of a thing that happened.
Yeah.
But no, that was not what we were building. And I won't tell you what we were building because we're still building it. So stop asking.
We were building magic.
Yeah, what was in development was still in development to some extent, although it has been delayed quite a bit by the find of One Step in that whole process.
Can you come up a little, Jason?
No, I've had it with you. I'm not doing it today.
You can, and it's not for me.
He's been yelling at me all day long. Yelling at me all day long.
I've politely said, "Can you send her up?" And he does that. It's okay. Just a reminder. It's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that.
Literally all day long.
Only for a couple hours, not even.
Literally all day long.
Claude says, I want to see One Step used as a panel liner.
Is this Claude the AI?
Beep boop. I am Claude. Hooply hooply. Procryl toothpaste. How man do? False.
You can use Procryl as a panel liner. Just remember that one of the big things about panel liners is we talk about oil paints a lot in that. And what you won't get from any acrylic is the ability to wipe off the spot where you dabbed it into the line.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you go in with your panel liners and you hit the model for it to then take that capillary action and flow through the panel line, with the acrylic, you won't be able to clean up if it has a smudge there. Whereas with the oils, you will. So just be careful. But yeah, you can get it to run along lines in armor and all sorts of stuff. So
Bearpaw,
very good for that.
Bearpaw says, hello there, Monument Hobbies.
Hello there.
I have a question. I've been watching Flame On tutorials, and his brush has a point. How can I do that without a barber pole destroying the brush? A barber pole destroying
we call
the
it
brush?
barber pulling when you twist your brush to keep that point. But that's in particular when you leave it to dry. When you are using the brush, twisting the brush to a point is not a bad thing. I do it because it will unravel itself back to normal while you're painting. So that's not a problem. It's if you twist it and then put the soap in it to let it reshape in that twisted form that it causes problems for your brush.
I also noticed that when you watch Flame On do that in person, he was at 2024 Adepticon.
Yeah.
He barely puts like any paint on there.
Yeah.
But then he goes back frequently. So
he goes over the same area tons and tons of times.
Like you don't really see a lot of paint in the barrel of his brush a lot, right?
Nope.
It's very precise.
Yeah, it's less of a standard layering technique, and it's all glaze.
Mustang, great question. I picked up some One Step from Adepticon. Woohoo! Coming from regular acrylics, how should I be applying One Step to a model as far as technique and loading the brush? Okay. Should I treat it like regular acrylic or more like a wash?
More like a wash. It is built to be applied like a wash. That's part of what we filmed the video today discussing, is load the model aggressively in order to get the paint to flow and go into the recesses, all the things that the contrast / speed paint world is wanting to do. Requires more fluid on the brush than you're probably going to be comfortable painting. I know that's my biggest issue in getting used to that style of painting, is having to have more liquid on the brush than I would normally ever do.
Nice. Justin PK, question for you Southwesterners. I'm painting desert terrain and want to capture the red tone of those red sandstone up to red or to pink so far. What would you recommend? Like the cliffs? Okay. Sandstone, red sandstone. Oh, kind of like in Sedona.
Yeah.
What would you do a workup for that, Jason?
I mean, starting with burnt red and then highlighting up to, burnt red with a flesh tone is probably the right way to really get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Remember that flesh tones tend to work really, really good as tints for reds. So if you can use like tan flesh, warm flesh, colors like that will give you really good, intense, saturated highlights for red without having to turn it to pink.
Lapton Live says, so by thinning one step down a lot, you can sort of make a shade, right?
Yeah. It will, just understand that it will stain the surface more until you get to a particular point. Like today in the video when we did this guy, I did transparent purple with the one-step medium to give a neat purplish tone to the shadow on this red sash.
Yeah.
But I thinned it down so much that you don't see much purple inclusion on the top of the red, right? So you can thin it down enough that you just get it in the recesses. So the only real purple is in that dark spot at the bottom. But I did put it all over the whole thing. So you can continue to thin and get it down really low. And then you won't see as much of that color. So you can use it as more of a shade that way. But it will lose a lot of its intensity. It's meant to be kind of a final filter in that regard. If I hadn't thinned it so much, then I would have turned the red more purple. Because unlike a wash is what you really want to use, because a wash is meant to leave less color behind and pile all the color up where you want the shading. That's the difference between the two. Whereas the one-step colors are meant to leave color everywhere, a wash is meant to only really leave color in the recesses. So they're chemically different, act different, and that's where you have to be a little careful with choosing which to use. I say careful. You don't really have to be careful, but you get my drift.
Spitfire, 34 months. Thank you so much. Perceptron, do you have any tips on how to learn which color to use and mix when painting a specific section? I usually find myself overblowing highlights and shadows. I find it difficult to choose the right range of hues.
Okay, so listening to your question, it sounds like maybe you're having a struggle with resolving your contrast on the model at the end.
Yeah.
Like, are you saying that you blow out your highlights or your shadows and that they don't then give you the right volumes that you were looking for? You don't have enough contrast or...
Oh, here we go. Let's say Perceptron says, let's say I use dark blue, blue, and sky blue. That's too big of a range, for example.
Too big of a range. Help me understand what that means, because that's a really good workup. Dark blue, blue, and sky blue works really well. You have to do some mixing there if you want it to look really good. You can get some very kind of cartoonish transitions of color if you don't mix them. So that goes into the whole thing that I teach, which is to make sure that each color you add to the model, you do a layer that first mixes with the last color you added to the model before moving to that color by itself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're painting with dark blue, blue, and sky blue, your first layer being dark blue if you start from dark. And then you move to dark blue plus blue, gives you a second color. And you glaze that on or layer that on, however you like to paint. And then once you're done with that one, then you go to blue. Then you mix a little bit of sky blue with blue, and then you go to pure sky blue. That is something that's really good to train yourself with, even if you've got colors in the bottle that look pretty close. When I do dark jade, jade, bright jade, I do the same thing. Dark blue, blue, sky blue, I do the same, right? You're going to blend in between, even if only minorly, so that you make sure that you get a really good transition between the colors and don't make too drastic of a jump, which maybe now that you're saying that may be what you're meaning, is that sometimes you just get too much contrast because you're jumping between your colors too much. It makes it hard to get blends. Is that what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm. it means it will look. It means it will looks too dark and too light. But maybe I lack the skill. Yes, maybe that's it. It looks too harsh.
Too harsh, yeah, because you're losing transition between color because you're going from a darker color to a much brighter one too quick. And so you're actually building too much contrast. And at some point in time, contrast starts to look fake and doesn't pull off what you're looking for. So yeah. So what I've done here is this right here is just right. Let me pull them out. It's the Prussian blue and white. That's the only two colors in the pants. Okay. So this is a real high contrast change. Dark blue, almost purple, and Prussian blue is like our dark blue. And then titanium white. So I don't even use blue and sky blue. I just use white to create blue and sky blue, right? And that's what I get here. But by mixing like that, I get all of the stages in between. Zoom in real close. Right? So I get all the colors in between to where there's a little bit of Prussian blue showing in the darkest recesses there on the side. And then you get the mid-tone blue, which is in this area. Then a little bit more white to get a little more brighter mid-tone. And then a little bit brighter and a little bit brighter until my brightest color is kind of like over here. Right?
I see.
Never pure white, but as bright as I can get without just completely losing my blue is where I'm headed. And so that then builds contrast because you still can control where your darkness is, and so you get that look, you build your volumes up, but you also now have bright to dark done transitioned over the top. To try to do this I never suggest to go buy enough blues to do this with different bottles. It's a waste of your paint because what you will train yourself and do better overall with is teaching yourself how to mix. And so let's just stick to the blue, right? When I take dark blue, blue, and sky blue, again, that's a harsh transition. This one's easier, right? This one doesn't have to build as much contrast, but still dark blue, then mix these two to get a color that is 50-50, then go to blue, then mix blue with your highlight 50-50, and then go to sky blue. Now you've made 5 colors out of 3. You've saved yourself money. It's cost you a bit of time, right, to mix those colors, but it will always be able to be controlled to deliver exactly the contrast you want. If you were to just buy colors that sit in here, now you're always working with 5 colors, and those 5 colors will never be as easy to control your contrast with as mixing, right? Because there'll be a lot of times where you just take a color out. So this is the way that we talk about painting to the fullest effect, because you can create any level of blue. It can be a very bright blue. It can be a very dark blue with just hints of brightness. You get to control by mixing those colors in between.
Valhalla Painting. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you for that raid.
Hola!
K Shorties asked, or not K Shorties, Chaos Angel, what would you use for a sea creature skin tone? I'm painting up a sea Jotner from Conquest and want to replicate the skin from the box art.
I'm sorry. Run. What's the color we're looking for?
What would you use for sea creature skin tone? Chaos Angel.
Are we talking blues?
Yes, Chaos Angel. I don't have a picture of that, so maybe give us the exact color you're looking for.
Blue-green sounds like what you're looking for, but it could be like crab oranges, too. The sea Jotnar is the giant, right? I think it's kind of a bluish skin, but I don't remember on that one. Blue grains. Dark Sea Bin is a fantastic shade layer for anything you're doing in the world of like ocean life, because it's a very dark blue-green or green-blue. So Dark Sea Bin as a base to give you your shade. And then moving up from there, you have to determine, do you want to use, because, okay, so here's the thing. Purples, blue-greens, you make a determination. Do you want to see more of the blue or more of the green? Once you've made that determination, that guides your hand, because you could, into Dark Sea Bin, just start adding in stuff like turquoise and dark turquoise, right? So like Dark Sea Bin and turquoise, when you mix these two colors together, give you a really good trend towards the blue side of Dark Sea Bin.
Yeah.
Right? And so you can play in that area. And then you can, highlight it with turquoise. Right? So that works really well. If you wanted to have more of the greenish exist, then I would switch that over and use like Dark Sea Bin into jade and then into bright jade, right? That'll give you more of the greenish side. You'll lose a lot of the blue there. You could swap these in and out too. You could get rid of the bright jade and put in the turquoise and bring some of the blue back in the highlights. But now you've got a really cool blue-green kind of tinge through there. So that works really well. We have the bright green blue as well. It's kind of a cool color. It's like more grayish. So in this range, I think I actually like the turquoise, the dark turquoise part better. Like that.
Yeah.
Would be really good.
I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, that's beautiful.
I mean, we're into that kind of thing.
I like that.
I'm not staring at the box art right now, so I can't tell you where that exists in terms of how they painted it, but that would be how I would paint. Like that sea green. You can switch the colors in and out. I think if you're hanging out here for the first time or new, you're starting to learn how I talk about color, because I'm a guy that thinks that color is the least important part of painting. The most important part of painting is value, right? And value, contrast, create volumes. And so that's really where you want to spend all of your time. We talked yesterday, value and saturation give you vibrancy, and that helps you build contrast on your models and allows you to really, create the shape visually that the model has, like I'm doing on the pants with the shading and the highlights. It's less about the color. When I show you how to do this, I don't want you to be thinking about the colors I'm using. I want you to be thinking about how I'm building brightness and blending color so that I go from dark to light and show my highlights where they're supposed to be and bring the volumes and textures back onto the model. Then you can swap any color, right? This is Prussian blue and white blended together. You could do this with any two colors that were a dark and a bright, right? Dark green and white. Whatever, and you can create this. It's like if you could be watching this on a black and white TV would be a better way to learn how to paint, because that's why we say, sketching with blacks and whites sometimes is way more valuable than getting hung up on what the color that would be good would be, because I can throw you out some colors, and if you're like, oh, that's not quite blue enough, then just swap out some bluer colors, because really what I'm showing you is you need a very dark base, a mid-tone, and a highlight. And then, like I just said, mix in between those stages to get the mid-tone and blend expansion that you need to make it work for you. It's that easy. Now, I say it's that easy, right? That's what you will spend all of your time painting learning to do, is recreating those values to make lighting appear like it truly exists on this model in the time it is portraying. And then that lighting will create everything from your textures, your colors, all of that.
The Mo,
You know a Mo.
Ghost Hunter says, Chris, can you turn the stream black and white, please? And I said, no.
That'd be a great filter. I bet we could, actually.
Yes, we can.
We should add a filter. We should add a filter.
We should.
That allows us to do that. That would be a great idea, actually, chat. Let's do that. We will create a black and white filter. I say so. Chris will make it so. We can do that. There's a filter in OBS that does that. You could literally do it right now if you'd open the filters.
I won't do it.
I'm pretty sure there's a ditch all the color. If you take the saturation slider and turn it to 0, it'll go to black and white. So
it doesn't allow to re-add. I'll figure it out. But yes, we can totally do that.
Click on the overlay or whatever is coming out of the black magic. The black magic one there. Right there. Click that. No. Yeah. Unlock it. Click that. Hit filters. Yeah, hit filters. Boom. And then add an effect filter.
Like we could do
what would it be? Chroma? No, not chroma. No, it would be Luma.
No, Luma's not going to do it.
No, Luma's not. That's brightness, right?
Oh, color correction. Let's try this, and then I can.
And go to saturation and zoom it all the way down. Boom. There you go. Right.
Now, actually, to even help that, you could increase your contrast.
Right. Then you give it a little. Well, not too much. Now you're blowing it out. Now my shadow somewhere around there. Yeah.
There we go.
Right. And so that then we'll create a filter that allows us to do that and take models and do that, because notice how when we strip the color out, stop blinking it, please.
Oh, sorry. I was just showing them the difference.
Yeah, when you strip the color out, now you can see what we're really painting. We're painting textures and contrast. right? And so this is what is more important about your painting than any single other thing that you do. Now, I'm not saying that color choices are not important, because color has an emotional response. It can lead the viewer to like or dislike your painting based on what colors you choose to use, how you match them together. That is an important part, but it is third or fourth in line behind controlling your light and getting your contrast to provide you shape and texture on your model, because this is what brings a model to life, right? And gives it a realism in its form. And then turn the color back on. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, you've got, click close on that. And then I think you can just leave that up there and then just turn that on and off, turn the filters on and off. We can automate that later. Cool. Great idea. We'll do that.
There you go, Ghost Hunter. Your wish is Jason's command. On Green Army Men, I saw you use black primer with a red shade. I don't have a red spray. Can I paint on the red shade to add the warmth?
100%. Yeah, 100%. You start with black
the,
primer and just use red oxide. This was just our red oxide primer, but you could use the red oxide paint, or black red would even work very well, and paint the whole model black red, and then the greens over the top, just leaving it in the shadows. It works great. Neat coloring, just gives it some warmth and gives it actually makes it look a little dirtier without having to paint it weathered.
Yeah.
Right? It just puts it in an environment when you do that. I wouldn't suggest going too red, because otherwise it creates like a glow effect and it makes it seem like he's standing in lava or something, which was not the goal. The goal was just because green and reds are complementaries, you can shade by mixing green and red. You can come up with a brilliant shade other than black for that. And that was the goal here, to do it in a very simplified tonal way rather than mixing a bunch of color.
There you go. The Mo you know.
We know Mo. I keep telling you this.
Is Mo here? I haven't seen Mo.
You know, he'd be yelling at you if he was.
He probably would.
He would be yelling at you if he was.
Yeah, I'd love to see how the black and white mini someday to highlight value and texture. I would love to see how you do a black and white mini. Actually, he did a video painting textures in that exact way.
Yeah, we do it from time to time, but yeah, you
Excuse me.
Hang out here long enough and you'll see it again.
Here, check this video out, though. That's exactly what you're talking about.
Yep, it was talking in terms of
Paint
being
Liquor
able to do just that.
Paint Liquor says, Mo has some stuff going on. Might be a few days. Uh-oh. Hopefully he's okay.
I hope he's doing all right. Always hope everybody in the community is getting along okay.
Yes, 100%.
Hope it's nothing too bad.
Hey, you know what's happening today, though, Jason?
A giveaway.
Great.
You told us. You're giving more stuff
Here
away.
it is. We're giving away all the Weird West villains. All three of them.
All three of them?
Yep. Whiplash,
What?
Willy, Sidewinder, Slim, and Rufus.
What kind of craziness happened?
You'll be able to do this all yourself. And by all yourself, I mean all yourself.
All yourself.
Fun fact, the beige red PA paint tastes the best out of Vince's signature series. False. Don't do that.
Gross.
Stalker says, how do you differentiate when to use black or white as a primer base? Oh, great question, by the way. When do I use black over white primer?
So I use black primer about 99.9% of the time.
Because of the shadows?
Yeah, because the darker the primer you use, the more baked in your shadows are from the get-go, which makes building your volumes a lot easier if you don't have to backtrack into the painting the crotch and the armpits again. Right? Because when we paint at scale, the larger the model, the less this is a factor. And so if you really want big, punchy, vibrant colors, right, and the colors you're using are very saturated, then white primer helps that, because anytime you paint a white primer and then you put, like, say, you know, yellow or red over the top, it's going to be a pretty punchy yellow and red without a lot of effort, because the white primer is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So, but I don't paint that way. I use black primer intentionally, or something very dark. I use dark purple primer a lot because I like the purple undertones in my shadows.
Right.
But darkness just bakes the shadows onto the model, and then I don't have to focus on painting crotches and underarms and under chins and things like that. They're just already the dark shadow color I want, which is why I like dark purples and Payne's gray instead of just plain black, because just plain black can look a little flat.
Okay.
But I will start with black and then do like purple over the top, things like that. So
Kitty's asking, Jason, are you going to demonstrate that checker technique on this textured model, or are you going to skip it due to the way the jeans came out? Because either way, they look amazing.
I was thinking about it last night, and I still want to do the checker pattern.
Okay.
I'm going to paint everything around here and see what I think, and kind of determine as I go what makes the most sense for the model at the finish line. So I don't have a good answer for you right this minute.
When painting black, would you recommend using cooler toned shadows and warmer toned highlights, or opposite? Says Marshmallow Fluff.
Great question. I think it's largely dependent on the piece. I typically go cooler shadows. I like purples and blues for blacks. But you've seen me a lot of times use reddish tones for shadows too. It all just depends. I think it's preferential to the piece. If you're doing a bunch of squads, then how do you want the whole army to look? You know, there's a lot of choices to be made and things like that. I like the cool colors to show in the midtones and the highlights for black. So blue, purple, things like that work really great as the mid-tone colors that give the black some interest in the reflection if you're doing shiny, or just in the coloration overall. So that kind of makes it tough to also do cooler shadows on everything. So that's when I might, err on the side of something that is, depending on the model I'm painting. If it were a dreadnought, maybe I even do something that's a little bit more of a rust tone. We did that on that ultramarine we did. Used more of a rust tone undercoat for the blue, because blue's already a cool color, so we gave it a warm. Because black is a neutral, either is doable and either makes sense, right? When we talk about color temperature, what we mean is cool leads you into the spectrum of blues, warmth leads you into the spectrum of yellows, oranges, reds, okay? Now, you can say, okay, well, where does purple lie because it's blue and red? It can be a good center point that can lean either way. Purple underneath black can look warm if you use something like royal purple, or can look cool if you use something like dark purple, depending on where you go with your highlights. And so that's why I really like purple, because it allows me to move the model cool or warm in the shadows as necessary. So really the go-to color. I always say use purple as a shadow color unless you're painting purple. It's really the only color I don't use it on. Sometimes yellows work better with like oranges or greens or something like that, but you can use purples under yellows too. So that's kind of my go-to.
Marshmallow says, okay, so maybe for the midtone I could use purpley black.
Yeah.
Yeah, how am I going to do? That's a great video for chasing the point. So give that video a watch. It helps you keep that point on your brush. There's actually two videos. Here's the second one for you. Two of those. Are those going to be leathery too?
Yeah, it's all leather.
Yeah.
I'm keeping up with it. We're painting it exactly the same way we did all the other leather. I wanted to make sure that on this model I did this as an example. Is that all of the leather bits on this model are painted exactly the same until we get to the final filter color, right? So I'm painting them with a fairly dry brush. You'll notice if you... Can you zoom in? Oh, you're pretty close.
I can zoom in closer.
Zoom in closer.
Yep.
Look at how sketchy my brush stroke is. Like if I just pull a line, look at that. See how my brush doesn't have very much moisture on it. And so as I pull my lines, the brush kind of skates across the surface and makes it really textured. That just kind of is a cheater method, if you will, to get that leathery texture without having to do a billion brush strokes. See, like that one brush swipe looks very textured. So that's why I'm doing the kind of, I don't want to call it a dry brush technique because it's not, but it is. It's a much drier application of paint than you would ever do in most circumstances, because you would look at this and be like, oh my God, that's giving me horrible. It's not blending at all. Well, that's not the point, right? The point here is to get the texture that makes it feel like it's a, you know, a leather-ish hide. But I did all the leather the same way, and then the only difference between them that makes the hat look different than the jacket so far are the two leather bits that I won't say finished, but the two that we've taken the furthest so far. And the only difference between them is that we did a black filter on this, and we did a warm brown filter with the one step on this. So that's the only difference. And they were all initially painted like this.
Right. If you all are unaware about the giveaway, this link right here, go hit that link right now. Somebody was asking a little bit earlier how they sign up. That is how you sign up. If you've already done it this year, you only have to do it once. Then it puts your name in a hat, and then towards the end of the stream, we pick a winner. And today, that one winner is getting all 3 of the new Weird West villain characters.
Awesome.
So get ready.
Awesome.
What was the ratio of warm brown one-step filter you used for this, Jason? Asked Destro. Ratio of medium to paint.
I mean, I think we did medium paint. This is one of the colors, right? So it's just warm brown.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
It's just warm brown, and I might have put a little water in it. I don't remember. I think I put a little water in it so that more of the yellow would show through, so I used it more as a desaturated filter. But not a whole lot, because I still got a lot of.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at the difference between the coat and what I'm painting on. These were the same at one point.
Valthorn says, how do you get rid of the texture when it pops up where you don't want it, like skin?
How do you mean? Like you've accidentally gotten too much texture on there?
Maybe, yep. I'm thinking that's it.
Glazing over it with one of the skin tones. So like if I were to have my skin done with the highlights and it looked a little too sketchy, I would take one of my mid-tone colors and glaze it back over everything. That'll help blend it together. And then you'd have to maybe re-highlight it. So you do a little bit of back and forth between your mid-tones and your highlight to blend everything together. Sometimes you have to do that just in the shadows specifically. Really just depends. That's the easiest way, is to put a filter over the top of it. And I usually go backwards a couple of colors to get my filter the way I want it. Right? This makes him look like we're painting the X-Men or something. Like it's like
Wolverine's pants.
Yeah. Like, you know, Wild West Wolverine or something.
Alton says, looking forward to the black blue one step for some Death Company.
Yeah.
The dark blue black.
You're gonna love it.
But you said that there isn't quite a proper Blood Angels red one step, correct?
Not in not in the first grouping. In the second set there is.
There you go.
There's a really like red that I think I would put up there with doing. If I had not started my Blood Angels, I would probably move to doing my Blood Angels with it. This was just really sloppy on this model, but that's the coming out in the set 2.
Oh,
so it's like a little bit of a darker pyro red.
That's Dilly Bar red.
Oh, I don't know about that, but whatever you said.
It's
a nice scarlet.
Really makes me want a Dilly Bar.
It really makes me.
I want a Dilly Bar.
Now I want a Dilly Bar.
Now I want a Dilly Bar.
Well, glad I could be that
Jason.
for you, Chris.
Here you go. Check this link out. Sign up for the giveaway. We also realized that it gets late for the giveaway for a lot of you towards the end now with the time constraint, but we'll see about potentially at some point maybe bringing it up a little earlier in the stream, but for now we're sticking to around the end.
It's only an hour. These are adults.
This is true. But you have to be here. We go pretty quick.
Yeah, you do have to be present, and you have to be ready to notify us that you're here, or we will miss you and you will get skipped. So make sure you're present at the end of the stream. If you have to take a break away, do it now. Do whatever chores you got to do now.
We give you a 5-minute warning. What the heck is a dilly bar? Super duper John, what are you talking about?
I don't know either.
Super duper, you
John.
know what a
Even
dilly
Jen
bar is.
knows what it is, and I have no idea. They had to show me, and I still don't believe it's true.
Valthorn says, is the line between too strong and too thin as a razor thin as it seems with this paint? ?
What do you mean?
Yeah, Valthorn, when glazing.
Which paint?
This paint right here that you're using, the Expert Acrylics.
No. I mean, I guess, with the Expert Acrylics, you have a lot of pigment. So when you say the line between too strong and too thin, no. No, as a matter of fact, the Expert Acrylics are literally so easy to stretch through the entire range because of the amount of pigment in them that you get to control them better than you can control any liquid acrylic. 100%.
No, Craigs, there's not a 5-minute warning already.
No,
I will let you know when there's a 5-minute warning. Everybody calm down and go get yourself a dilly bar.
No, don't get a dilly bar. These things, that's got to hurt you.
You like it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. What is it? Is it fake ice cream?
It is fake. It's whatever you want to call food. It's all fake it nowadays anyway. It's imagine a circle of ice cream, right? With a stick in the middle of it, and typically candy dipped of some kind, either chocolate, there's butterscotch, and then there's the red cherry dilly bar, which is literally that color that you just showed. That's called red dilly bar.
I don't.
November says dilly bars have been ruined by shrinkflation. Yes. Tech Elf, you do not need to do ! giveaway anymore. You just have to hit this link. Yes, you do, Rocco. You all have time to use the restroom. Everybody go. Gabe is on his way getting dilly bars right now.
No, he's not. He better be working.
You gonna go get some dilly bars? He's working.
He can't work if he's going to get dilly bars.
Jason, what if we went and got you a dilly bar so that you could eat it for the first time on stream? No, we'd have to make sure Jen's watching.
It literally would have to be the best thing I'd ever experienced for me to not fire everybody that went and got it.
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
Oh, Jesus. From Gabe, right?
No,
like, Gabe, go get us one. That's a chance. I will sacrifice Gabe.
I'll take the bullet. Valthorn says, I keep finding that when I glaze, it either wipes out what it goes over or is so light that multiple coats does nothing. That's the razor thin line.
With Expert Acrylics? I would have to see how you're thinning because that's not correct. They are so much better for glazing than anything else in terms of being able to control opacity with them. So I would have to see how you're thinning. It sounds like you're getting frustrated and overloading with water and then over thinning. I don't know. I don't want to pin it on you, but no, they are super easy to stretch it to whatever level of opacity you need without breaking.
Oh, that is right. We could get Jen to get the dilly bars. She can't be fired. Doghouse, that's the way. Good on you.
Yeah, but Jen's not going to drive all the way here to bring dilly bars.
I think Jen would. Ted Onions, you can message me privately. Tech Elf just gets a sample pack of dilly bars. I know. I got it. Gentastic. I'm always watching. I don't understand how Jason is still confused about dilly bars.
What do you mean confused? I'm not confused.
He's just
I just
never
don't
had
buy
one.
into it.
I know Jen's always there. We'll get him one, Jen. We'll get him one.
No, you won't.
I will get you one. Not right now. I think he might like it. Might be a green eggs and ham situation. You know? He finally I bugged the crap out of him. He's just like, all right, Sam, just shut up. I'll do it already. Monument Jen says, and that is totally Dilly Bar red. All right. Thank you, Jen.
She's always
I appreciate
on your
you.
side. I don't even know what world I live in anymore.
We're gonna get him a Dilly Bar. All right, enough about Dilly Bars. This is serious painting.
Yeah, no free pub. What did Dilly Bar do to get any kind of pub on my stream?
We'll get them. We'll get them as a sponsor. That's a Q3 thing. More sponsors for Monument Hobbies. Jade says, "Oh, these jeans are fitting just right. I see." Fitting just right. I see. I can't be the first or only one, right? Hey, Whiplash Willy.
They're not jeans. They're fabric trousers in the way they're stitched.
They're trousers.
They're supposed to have checkers on them according to Adrian's original art. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Stay true to the original.
I think the checkers would be cool because they would be technically faded checkers, right?
Yeah, faded on here.
Not like their own patches.
No.
Gotcha.
No, they'd be like in the fabric itself.
And when will that red be available, Jason?
Give
us a minute.
I'm thinking July, August, somewhere around Gen Con. Gabe has asked that we try to do set 2 around the Gen Con release. He would really like to have a release at Gen Con. So I'm trying to honor that. So I think that's July, August. End of July, beginning of August.
Jabe got fired because he went to go get Dilly Bars, so we don't know.
So we don't know. Yeah, he's dead to me. Until they're really good.
Gosh, I think you're going to like them. And when will the checkered one step be available, says Treebeard.
Every one step is part of the do-it-yourself checker line.
There you go.
All right. So again, that's painting for value, although we're doing it in a chromatic sketch. So I'm using, that was just burnt umber, nickel azo yellow, and white.
Yeah.
Pop in close. So you can see the way I'm texturing it so that I can give the leather a little bit of life with, just some scritchy lines and such. Patterning, really just cross-hatching. I could stipple it too if I wanted to, but I'm not really doing that with the leather. Right, we'll do that with the highlight colors that we do. That's what it is. Now, you could choose to leave, like maybe the pouch would be good in that color or whatever, but I'm going to go ahead and glaze over the top of all of these to turn them all into something a little bit different color space-wise. And the belt can be one with the little ties along the leg for the pistols, and then the boots could be another. So I think on the belt, I like the idea of, well, let's glaze with some, because, maybe we can glaze with like a sepia, right? So we could do a sepia glaze over the top, because the question was asked in chat about how to control the consistency of the glaze of expert acrylics. So I'll show with the sepia, just real quick, how I would glaze. Let's do the boots as sepia. And so I typically just go get a brush load full of water. That's as much water as this number, whatever, 3 will hold. And then again, just touch a little bit to the edge of the dollop of expert acrylic over here. Right? And that looks fairly good. And then I would come in and test it over the top of some color and see, yeah, that feels pretty good. That's pretty intense. So I might want to put a little bit more water in it. So I'll grab a little bit more water and drag it into that same little bit. Okay, good. Then I'll take that all off. Remember, you don't want a lot of liquid on your brush when you're glazing, so take a lot of the color off. And then we'll come down here and we'll glaze this over the top of all of this down here. And we get that neat. Sepia is almost what we created out of this color mix anyway. So it's almost like glazing with another member of the family versus the colors I painted this in, but I like that. for the boots.
You had me a giveaway. Hey, great. Go Flipper. If you are not a part of our giveaway, here it is right there. Click that link. Sign up.
So you can see it, the glaze starting to take hold on the left boot, his right, our left. And then now over here, same thing. Boom. That has a really nice alteration to the color. And then if I want to go ahead and keep darkening in on the shadow side, I can. So I can take this and just do another layer of glaze over here in the shadows.
Justin PK, so you don't use the Pro Acrylic glaze to make the glaze, question mark?
I'm typically using water, but the glaze wash medium works great. Glaze wash medium was invented to help people control what they turn into a glaze by not having all of the liquid, the lower viscosity that water creates, right? Because by doing it my way, I have a lot of liquid that I have to contend with, but I've been doing it like this for decades. So for me, water is second nature. But if you're not in that space where you're as comfortable with low viscosity liquids, it flows all over the model, feels less in control, then the glaze wash medium works great for that. Pop in super close.
Yep.
So you can see how our glaze evens out some of my texture and blends my colors better, but keeps that rough look, keeps my contrast. And you can see the difference between that's where I was, and then the sepia glaze. So that is how perfectly controllable the expert acrylics become, right?
Mm-hmm.
And super even.
Yeah.
Right, one coat has such a pronounced effect. Now, if I wanted to layer this up off of most, thin it down more, build it up more. If you wanted to control on a bigger space, like you're doing flesh and you want to glaze around, a magenta, you can do it, much thinner than what I'm showing you here for sure. Now on the belt, I'm thinking I kind of I have warm brown on the coat, so I don't want to do them the same. So let's pick another kind of leather that we would do. What would we do? Maybe a black brown? Oh, how about the like dark green brown one step? I think that works.
Fuzz says, how do paper palettes like GW ones compare to glass palettes and silicone/plastic palettes?
I mean, paper's good. Paper's just wasteful. I use paper palettes when I travel. I tend to not like them because you wind up wadding it up and throwing it away, whereas the glass you can clean, but they're similar. They work almost the same exact way. Anything that is dry that isn't absorbent will work the same way, I think. You can have like the ceramic tiles, if you put them in the freezer, bring them out to room temperature, they start to sweat and have condensation on them, so they act as kind of a pseudo wet palette. So some people use that, the tile out of the freezer into the warmth. But I just use a dry palette, and palette paper works just as well. I just get sick of throwing it away. It's expensive and I hate buying it all the time. All right, so I'm going to take a brush load of water and do the same thing that I did with the sepia expert acrylic, but this is one step. Dark green brown, and then I'm going to take that and load it up on the top of all of this here. I like that.
Mm-hmm. No, we do not sell a glass palette.
No, lots of people have asked if we would, and again, it's a matter of, you can get this one on Amazon for like $27, and they have multiple sizes, and I would never be able to produce one for that price.
I mean, and heck,
I don't want my team shipping glass either. I don't really want my customer service people having to be like, hey, my pallet showed up and
cracked, shattered.
The monkeys at UPS threw it over my fence and it's busted. What do I do? That would be a feels bad for everybody involved. So something I've thought about a lot, but right now I don't see a way to do it unless I can make some sort of indestructible glass pallet. Make it out of 1-inch thick bulletproof glass. It's $400.
Oh my goodness.
It's the $400 palette.
Can you give an example of brush loading and what situation would you use it in?
Tip loading?
Maybe I think that's what you're talking about, Tweetjet? I think so.
Yeah.
Like loaded?
Yeah, loaded brush.
Loaded brush?
I mean, like, Ben and Matt call it loaded brush technique. Yeah. Give me a second. Go back with a second quick coat of this. I'm getting a good darkness built up. This dark green brown over the kind of Nicolazo yellow that we did is fantastic. I really like that. So now we've been able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors of leather that go very well together without having to change the way we mixed color to paint the leather. All of these started with that same Nicolazo yellow, dark umber, and white, or burnt umber and white. And then it's just the filter color over the top, right? But they all have that kind of yellowish tone underneath that was what we painted the leather with. I left the pouch out here. On the artwork, the pouch is red, so I'm going to use a red over that, so that we can make like a little red leather pouch. And I will use, I think I'll use the crimson one step. Ballistic glass palettes. I'll make them the right size so you can put them in your plate carrier.
That's not a bad idea. Heck yeah, Monument branded ballistic glass. Take my money. Okay. Fisters.
And again, this is just a little bit of water on my brush and then straight into the one step off the palette. And using it more like a paint, you notice I'm not loading a ton on here because I'm not wanting it to be the same type of filter that the standard contrast paint would be. I'm really just using it as an all-over glaze, which shows you the flexibility of one step. It can just do anything, and it doesn't stretch out or act weird as you paint and paint over surfaces and things like that. It just does exactly what you need it to do. Gives you a really good filter, and layer it over. I did a little bit of the dark green brown on here too.
What's the difference between titanium white and heavy titanium white?
The viscosity. The heavy colors are just a higher viscosity. A little bit more pigment in them because of that. But they're almost identical. Same pigment, just a little bit more, and heavier viscosity, meaning it's not as fluid.
Okay.
And that's where the tip loading technique comes from for those, right? So now we have 5 different colors of leather.
Yeah.
Right? A red leather pouch, this dark green brown leather on the belts and stuff, the sepia, leather, the warm leather on the coat, and then the I don't know what we'd even call that. That was just a black filter over the same buildup that we used down here. All right, so tip loading. I've got white and I've got color, so we can just use it. Right? So the idea being that if I take a color like the sepia, right, and I have sepia on my brush, right, so I get sepia coloring here, right? This is probably not a good idea because sepia isn't as opaque, but we're going to play with it anyway. Right, so I have sepia here to where I can pull it down, and then I just want to poke my tip of the brush into some white, right? So just a little bit of white on the tip, which is our expert acrylic white. Then when I go to make a brush stroke, zoom in close. When I go to make a brush stroke, that brush stroke starts out as white, and as I press, it starts to grab the sepia from in behind it, and then it does a blend that eventually goes to pure sepia, right? So see how you can get a blended color from that bright speck of white to the color that you've loaded in the brush, generally a darker color. You can do this reverse too if you want. But now you can imagine this would be the tip of a sword and you've now pulled a blend down the edge of the sword, right? So you can get a nice shine on metal like this. You can blend it however you like. I mean, you can, if you're good at it, then you know how much to load. You can load a whole lot of sepia and more white in there, right? So that you can use the white and there's just more paint. And so I can use the white now as a way to start, doing a broader area. And then as I press, I get my blend. And then I work through my blend so that I can even do like panels, right? So you're wet blending, but the colors both exist on the same brush. So you're not worrying about speed with acrylics. You're able to get this blend on the surface all in one swipe.
Oh, that's great. There you go.
But you need to make sure that the color loaded on the tip is much less fluid than the color in the body. They can both be expert acrylics, but generally it would be like, that's why the heavy white and the heavy warm white exists, because generally you'd use a Pro Acryl liquid acrylic in the barrel, and then you'd go into the heavy whites as the tip, so it doesn't have that capillary ability. It doesn't bleed up into the brush. Because if the tip-loaded color bleeds into the rest of the brush, now you just have a blended color on the brush, and you don't get that. You don't get this effect where you have the pure white at the beginning, and then it blends into whatever's in the barrel. Right? But you can see how these would both be very useful techniques. I don't use it over a large area like this very often. It's harder to control, and as you see where you end your brush stroke, you have the tendency to get some of that white. I didn't load it perfectly, so I probably could control that if I practiced more. Yeah. But this part of a linear blend is nice. It's just having the brightness across this, you'd have to go back in and fill that in. This is how I use it more when I use it, is I go and do like a specular highlight, boop, and then blend it out real quick.
Mo, you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mo. Hope you're doing well, Mo. What? Bald man, despite Chris's best efforts, I'm still alive and on the mend. Bald man, you're not bald. I would like to make that very well known.
Somebody asked, you better go through a lot of brushes if you use that technique because you get a lot of paint in the ferrule. Just clean your brush. Like if you use our Gentastic Drunken Brush Group, you'll never worry about having paint in the ferrule, right? Clean it after a long session, clean it once a week, do whatever you need to do, and our brush soap will literally siphon all of the paint out of the ferrule. These brushes have been used for a long time now. I've got brushes that I've used over a year that are still good. And we paint a boat ton with them, so.
What is this? What? Did you DoorDash these?
Did you DoorDash dilly bars? Did you?
Oh my gosh!
Did you literally DoorDash dilly bars?
Wait a second. You said well, Gabe has to work, so I did. Did you DoorDash these?
And you got dilly bars.
Wait a second, Jen. I hope you're here.
So Gabe somehow did this without getting fired.
No free pub for them, but I'm so excited for this, just for myself. I don't know if Jason's actually going to like this. This is a dilly bar. It is a cherry dilly bar. Gabe using the brain. I said that. There you go, Lumberjack.
This is
Jason. You do not have to eat that.
This, by the way, is not the same. Oh, that's pretty freaking close. Wow.
No, you're right. Actually,
it's a deeper shade of dilly bar.
It is a deeper shade.
We're going to call this deeper shade of dilly bar.
Oh
what,
my!
What is it though?
It's ice cream. See, here's the inside, Jason. Look.
It's a reduced, okay, it is, no, it's artificially flavored vanilla reduced fat ice cream bar. That alone causes cancer.
Perfect.
Dipped in flavored cherry coating, which also causes cancer.
Perfect. You don't have to eat that, Jason. I can't believe you bought those, kid.
I have to try it. It's here.
I guess you don't have to.
I don't back down from a challenge, but if
I didn't think you
I don't like fake vanilla ice cream much, so this might be a spit it out and throw it at somebody thing.
This might be
or Chris gets 2.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the Jen or oh my gosh, 1 second. Here.
Wow. Wow.
It's pretty artificial.
Wow.
Yeah.
That smells like the inside of a hair salon. What am I? What is happening here?
Inside the hair. Oh,
that's very scary.
Jen says it's Dairy Queen. We don't question the ingredients. Jen,
Wow, that's a hellacious smell.
I can't believe you did
It
that.
totally does
Wow.
smell like inside of us.
It's like a hair salon or like the.
It's
That's
so
immediately what I
good.
thought. Is I was like, what? To get our hairstyle? We getting our hair did?
Hold on. Jason, HBDC Craze, what do you think of the cherry dilly bar?
That's disgusting. It tastes exactly like it smells.
That's childhood right there.
Yeah.
You had a horrible childhood. We need to
Can
talk to
you
your
take
parents.
that to
Did you
the-
not have an
the
ice
freezer?
cream truck? Because like literally the rinky dink ice cream truck has neat stuff like bomb pops that are better than that.
Oh. Well,
Thank you, Gabe. That was fun.
Jay, that's hilarious. Jason, you did not have to try it. Well, there you have it. How you feel? The chocolate ones are better.
That was guaranteed a number of years off my life.
Yeah, I was just taking a good 5. Oh, childhood. Wow. They've definitely changed the recipe.
Kitty Soul Siphon, I feel you on that one. I don't know. That was not good.
This tastes like chemicals,
It tastes like chemicals.
but it could be doing the opposite. There could be so much in there that's actually preserving my body, like embalmment, like a mummy.
Your hope is that it shocks all the other bad stuff out because it's so
What if
bad.
It's just a cleaner.
It literally tastes. He nailed it when he said it tastes like chemicals. It does taste like chemicals. But
There you go, Jason. What a
you know,
hero.
actually, what it tastes like is like the ice cream version of bad red licorice.
That's exactly what it tastes like.
That's what it tastes like. It's like ice cream and bad red licorice. Because Jen gets this good red licorice, this strawberry licorice stuff that's actually really good.
I'm
But
going
that
to
tastes
town.
like the bad stuff.
Wow. The Dilly Angel.
Shrinkflation affects the ingredients too.
Maybe that's
they
true.
cheapened out if that's
They
the
could have
case.
been better.
Either that or it's like the movie you swear to God was the best movie ever, but you watch it later in life and you're like, how did I enjoy this?
I think that's a lot for me.
I think that's what's happening. This is
pretty
one of
good.
those don't ever meet your heroes. Just believe the Dilly Bar was good and
Yeah.
just don't ever have another one.
But they're so
Are we reviewing paint flavor? How dare you? Do not eat the paint.
so nostalgic.
It's so nostalgic. My whole childhood was horrible tasting fun stuff.
Wow. All right. Jason, you're a hero.
For what? Trying it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
There it is. Wow.
Well.
There you go.
Well, you know, he's got flintlock, so I think all of this underside would be wood, right?
Probably.
And the handle would be wood. And
Because
it would just be metal
steel?
on the barrel on top.
Wow.
I do believe. Payne's Gray to the rescue.
Wow.
Wow,
What a day.
what a day. You went back to your childhood.
It's a giveaway day. You're all great segue. Speaking of giveaway day, it's a giveaway day.
It's a giveaway day.
We're giving away all 3 of the new Weird West villains.
I don't know how that happened. I don't know who convinced
I
me
love
to do
that Jason, he tells me, hey, this is what we're going to do. I don't think there's a chance. I'm glad that Jason tried the cherry one and not the chocolate one or the butterscotch one, because the cherry one's probably got to be the most iconic. We're not
I would
giving
not
you-
have enjoyed the chocolate one, I can probably guarantee you.
Probably not, because you like chocolate,
I love
but you're a dark chocolate man.
chocolate, but I'm a bittersweet chocolate
Yeah.
guy. I do not like milk chocolate at all.
Yeah,
It doesn't. Okay, I take that back. I don't detest milk chocolate, but
Right.
if handed a milk chocolate thing, I'm apt to refuse. I'm like, nah. I know what real chocolate's like. This is a fake.
Jade says no. The chocolate one is the best.
Well, I'm sure you think so.
We'll
I
send
don't-
it. We're gonna send it to Dairy Queen. We're gonna get a sponsor.
The review?
What if
Where
we
I
do?
said, you sent him the clip where I said, that's disgusting.
No, because my reaction did it all. I was having a spiritual moment in the corner.
So they're going to sponsor us as the odd couple? The one that denounces? I wouldn't say don't go to Dairy Queen because they make the Dilly Bar. I haven't been to Dairy Queen in a long time. Do they still make like the Hunger Buster and the Belt Buster hamburgers?
I have no idea. Wow.
Because when I grew up, Dairy Queen served burgers in like a weird package that was like a belt with a belt buckle around the burger.
What?
Yeah, it was called the Belt Buster. Was their thing. You know, like the Whopper and all that. They had the Belt Buster and the Hunger Buster. And they came in these packages where you could see the burger coming out of the top of the belt.
Mm.
The package was just a cardboard thing you held at the bottom of the burger.
Interesting.
I'm old.
You're not old. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm old.
They're not allowed to say that. You haven't had this Dilly Bar, so I'm in a way old now. It was delicious. Future Mrs. Phoenix, what about Burger Buddies from, I think, Burger King? Did you ever try those?
Burger Buddies?
Burger Buddies?
I don't know what that is. What is it?
I don't know.
I remember Chicken Littles from Kentucky Fried Chicken. Anybody remember that? The biscuit with a little fried chicken patty on it. It had one pickle and a dollop of their horrible mayonnaise. And it was like ranch mayonnaise or something silly like that. They were called Chicken Littles.
Chicken Littles.
Yeah. I don't think they sang it like that, but yeah.
How'd they sing it? What was their jingle for Chicken Littles?
You know what? I don't remember.
Do you remember any jingles?
No. Well, yes, but I'm not going to jingle them because they'll keep me up at night, and I will kill you if you invoke one.
We took a big risk today, chat.
By what, DoorDashing Dilly Bars?
That's true.
The fact that he was able to DoorDash Dilly Bars gives Gabe hero points.
There you go.
Because he sat in there and like the responsible-ish human he is.
Probably responsible. I like it.
His card says probably responsible. But
That's
this was
hilarious.
the other side of probably responsible. I mean, he's probably responsible.
Hey,
He might be responsible.
I think it was worth it because I just had lunch, which is probably not the best lunch to have, so don't take that note, children.
Wait a minute.
Have a
Your
well-balanced
Dilly Bar
diet.
was lunch? I offered to go get you lunch,
That's
and
true.
you're telling me now that this Dilly Bar was your lunch?
I guess so. It is now because I wasn't going to eat.
What the?
Sazzle, yeah, someone did feed me, and it took me back the good old days. We're so glad you're all here.
We need to compare definitions of good old days. My good old days didn't include barfing.
But Jason,
what?
That's Payne's Gray. So you're
With
gonna do
white.
steel?
Payne's Gray with white.
Nice. Are you gonna make them dirty or pretty shiny? Would he have dirty
Pretty shiny?
pistols?
He's a shiny weapon guy.
I was gonna say he's pretty dapper actually.
Yeah, you know, the fact that he has checkered pants, he's trying to be, you know.
I think he definitely keeps like a lint roller in his back pocket.
Okay.
Keep himself clean. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't do the giveaway in the next 15 minutes. I gotta go cure some dead bodies for the challenge diorama. Stan,
Really?
we don't. There's over 1,000. We can't just make one. I'll give you the 5-minute warning, and it happens around 3:45. Wink, wink.
What time is it?
Because this is where Lumberjack's like, it's gonna be 3:50. Hope I die. That's right. Thank you, Lumberjack. Dilly dilly. Yes. 3:45 is when I give you the 5-minute warning because we'll probably pull the winner around 3:50. And we do have a meeting right after this, chat, so it's gonna go quick.
Right at 4?
We do have one at 4.
Who is the horrible human that set up a meeting right at 4?
I think it was you.
Me?
Yes,
Really? Wow.
this is true.
I don't think so. I need you to see who owns that meeting.
Who owns this meeting? The Dilly Bar man, Gabe. Oh,
Gabe did.
it's very important.
It is a very important meeting, actually.
Thank God I just
Actually-
came from the bathroom. Sir Blame, you did it right. Exclamation mark giveaway is what I'm going to type. You do not have to type that. Hit that link right there. That's exactly what Chris would say if Chris had set up the meeting. I do
I'm
not
really
do that.
jealous of whoever's going to win today because I'm going to tell you,
It's a great win.
these are amazing models. And I'm not just tooting my own horn here.
Toot toot.
They are really good models. Very nice.
They are very cool. Now, I guess you just work this color up until it just gets shinier.
You got it, right? That's the nice thing about these. They just blend so well.
This is kind of what I did with my attempt at non-metallic metal. Very similar.
Just Payne's gray and white blue.
Yep.
I think is what we did with you, right?
I think so, yep. White blue. Or was it olive flesh? No, I think it was actually olive flesh.
Oh, did we allow you the...
You said pick a highlight color and then that dark color.
Yeah.
Which it was... Actually, maybe I did. I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch. I saw a preview of Monument Standard Time clock. Very cool. Oh, yes, the one that Big Bob gave.
Oh my God, it's so good.
That actually... Hey, Gabe, did the crates get back? Nice. Okay.
Good, I can get my clock.
You can get your clock. That's what he said. Lumberjack says, I know we're long off from the giveaway, but because I'm at home and not pooping at a truck stop, I took my phone with me. That's how you do it. That's correct, Lumberjack. Factually correct.
Lumberjack, spitting facts.
Take it to the bathroom. No free pub for the Phoenixes. Hey, Ballman, future Mrs. Phoenix is Frigid Phoenix, future Mrs. Phoenix. It's great to have you in chat. That's coming up soon. The first time in stream for you, future Mrs. Phoenix, you got to
Is
witness some history.
You're welcome.
I'm not on Twitch a lot, but when I do, it better be about full bars, paint, and my love. I hear all about your paint adventure. Hey, we're so glad to have you both part of our community. Dilly bars. I figured that's what you're talking about. What a big sigh.
Is Jen going to yell at me now because I didn't like dilly bars? That's the question.
No, I did message Jen.
I'm going to get home and Jen's
Midstream.
going to be like, I'm not speaking with you.
Oh. You have the chance to redeem.
I do?
No.
Oh.
It's it. This is it for you.
We had a good run. 11 years. In a few months.
That's great.
All sacrificed for a dilly bar.
That's such a great autobiography title, though. Sacrifice for a dilly bar.
I gave it all up for a dilly bar.
Nice. We gotta start trademarking or copywriting these beautiful titles. A lot of titles. Jason, better question. Just like the mini psychiatrist, when will Monument sell a mini Chris for all of us to have on our desk?
Oh my God, if
What-
I could have one made, I would do it in a heartbeat.
What would mini Chris say, Jason?
Hoop-de-hoop-doo.
Okay, that's one phrase. He says 15 things. What does he say?
Says 15 things?
Yeah, 15 things.
So the ship and the boat and the captain
No, it's
and the
just the
water
ship.
and the ocean and the ship.
You don't
and
have
the
a ship
boat
and the boat.
and the captain.
Oh, man.
That's what it would say. Just to
Oh.
drive it home.
What else? Your band?
It would say your band.
Center up.
Yep, center up. it would say, "This is it for me, chat. This is it for me, chat.
I guess that's true.
I'm ready to die.
I shan't. I won't and I can't.
I won't and I shan't.
I can't.
I shan't, I won't.
I shan't and I won't.
I
I can't. I won't and I shan't.
I'm ready to die.
That's not good. That's one of my catchphrases. I am ready to go. I really like this workup. That's a good one.
Oh yeah,
King
definitely.
Hammer.
Good
That
one.
dilly bar looked like the bar of soap from the Christmas story.
Oh my God, it was like eating a Lifebuoy bar of soap too. Holy, like literally, somebody tweet out right now to Dairy Queen saying, "Dairy Queen, you're ruining the Monument Hobby stream with your horrible chemical tasting dilly bar. What are you even doing?"
Baldman says, "Oh, that's doing things for me." Cyker says, I didn't eat today. Give me 15 reasons why." Can you repeat that for me to record?
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't
Chat's
even
got
say
it.
that. I just say, can you repeat that? He never knows if I'm recording or not.
Oh, we know.
A touch of bronze. There you go. A lot of good stuff. Mrs. Phoenix, he won't do another bite. He gave it his all. He won a war in his own way. We the people.
I don't have it.
It is we the people, Lumberjack. That's
I don't
correct.
have it. Gabe took it away from me.
No, it's okay. He took it away from you. My character would say many things. That was a test and you passed.
Yep, that's a good one.
Too many. Great. Now this is very eye-opening because now I'm seeing myself through what chat is. So if they're saying, I'm leaving 30 minutes later, okay, I'm going home. Oh, that's true. I'm leaving. I'm going home. I do have to pee. Evil!
Yeah, that's a good one. That only started this year, though. So.
Evil! I don't know what you're talking about. All of these phrases are incorrect.
I don't know.
I don't say any of these things.
There's going to be, I don't know, can we get one? Hey, T. Schmid, is there one of these we can get made that has 18 recordable or 28 million recordable
Great.
things?
Gabe says yes.
He's already looking. He's having one door dashed.
Bilbo, greatest little hobbit of them all. Thank you, Ghost Hunter. That's the real one I need. Ogre says, and by me, I mean him. That's true. This is great. This is really good for my self-awareness, chat.
You're a superstar. They all know your lines.
Is that what it's called? Is that what we're calling this?
I mean,
or
if you're, I'm a spin.
He won't shut up.
I'm spin doctoring. So
spin doctor. There's a dog teaching me. I'm just so glad Jason witnessed a dilly bar awakening today, or sleepening, or dismaying.
Oh, that was horrible.
That was a trial for sure. That's one of Jason's rungs of hell if he was traveling with Dante, right? Where he's like, and this one you must try a dilly bar. Mwahaha.
Yeah. About that.
Mwahaha.
I'd be like, yeah, hell ain't the place for me, brother.
It is for dilly bars, I guess. That was so good.
You said it tasted like chemicals.
It's not great, I will admit, but there's a little bit of me that I was transported
peeking through.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. I'm not a very nostalgic guy. Now, that being said, whenever I am out and about and Jen and I are and I smell something or eat something that brings back, because, smells and foods are the kings of memory.
Nostalgia.
Memory, grabs like that. And so I am susceptible to that, like everybody. There are things where I'm like, oh my god, that tastes like, my childhood, and that's cool when it happens,
Right.
because it's stuff that usually I would have been like, oh, I totally forgot that even existed. I don't remember what the latest one was, but there was one not too long ago when Jen and I were out.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because I was like, oh my god, I forgot that even was a thing.
And then it came back to you in a wild sweep of
it's
smells,
like a big rush of taste. And
what's Jason's sweet choice? What was the sweet of choice for Jason?
Oh, really?
Yeah. What's your favorite sweet?
Do you
like dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate, yeah. Eric, a guy who's a friend of the brand, part of our community, always
Shout
brings
out
us
to Eric.
whiskey at the show, right? At Adepticon and Gen Con, he'll come up with bottles of whiskey.
Yeah.
I don't drink. So, I've always very politely said, oh, this is great, man. Just realized I don't drink. So, I'm not going to be able to give you a lot of feedback on this. But I said, the crew will love it. And so Gabe and the crew always drink all the whiskey. And this year he was like, okay, I know you don't drink. He goes, what could I do to bring you something? I said, don't worry about it. You bring the crew drinks, like whiskey. It's great. He's like, no. I got to take care of my boy. So he brought these dark chocolate salted
caramel things.
Caramel things, right? They're just little candies. Holy. You can eat like maybe two. They're little bitty things.
Yeah.
They're like, they remind me of salted Rolos. Do you remember Rolo?
Yep.
It was a chocolate, but it was milk chocolate.
100%.
But these are dark chocolate, and they have chunky salt. Like, they're salty. Yeah. And so they're pretty good, but the salt makes you only be able to eat one. So I really like those. Those are good.
I like dark chocolate and salt. It's one of my favorite combos.
Those are really good.
You're not a big, gummy bear kind of guy.
I don't eat that kind of sweet. Jen, like I said, Jen found these...
licorice?
The strawberry ones from Sprouts.
Yeah.
They're from Sprouts.
Oh, okay.
They're really, really good. And I do like those. But no, I'm not a candy guy, really.
Yeah.
That's really why that dilly bar doesn't appeal to me, because it tastes very candy.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest fan in the world of just processed vanilla fake ice cream, so. Again, I'm just working up from the Payne's Gray, adding white in, and getting closer and closer to pure white as I do this buckle. This is still not pure white. This is still a combo of the two.
Gentastic says Jason likes crispy chocolate chip cookies.
Oh my God, I really do. I forget what it is. It's baking soda, not baking powder, is what I like.
Jade says, what happened to those treats we brought you?
The crew stole them and I didn't get any. Neither did Jen. Jen probably forgot all about it, and I'm very angry because
you didn't get any?
Gabe and the team stole them all, took them back to the Airbnb, and we got none.
What?
We didn't even get the cake that they made specifically for us that you guys robbed.
Cake?
I said specifically leave it at the booth, and they took the apple cake and ate it all, and we didn't get any of it.
Wow.
And Shelby just laughed at us.
Oh. It was at the booth. We had the treats at the booth the whole time.
No, you didn't. You took them back to the Airbnb.
That's not me. Gabe, I'm throwing you under the bus. We brought some back. We did bring them back.
You never gave them to Jen and I. Or, if you gave them to Jen, she never gave them and shared them with me. So, either way, I'm very angry.
Jade.
But thank you, Jade and Chuck, for being the friends that bake amazing things for
I
Jen
didn't
and
realize the wrath I was doing upon us. I see. Jade, those were for the booth. I see. Well, that's going to be a quiet ride home. Jade, you'll just have to send us some more. I don't know what to tell you.
Chuck and I have already had this conversation. There's a plan.
When did this happen?
What?
When did this happen?
This happen?
Conversation.
This
year's shipment of Christmas cookies will be addressed to Jen and Jason strictly to their consumption.
Yep, just the other day. They're taken care of.
I don't eat those cookies. There's some mafia blood under those. There's something going on. They're good, though. I swear. They're good. They're really good tasting. That protects me from the mafia. Are you all going to be at Gen Con? Yes, we will be at Gen Con. Right, Gabe? Oh, gosh.
Gabe says he hopes so, but you never know. I don't know what that means.
Jen said, Shelby brought 3 of her, for her lunch the next day, and she gave up one as a bribe to Dallas during the game.
And she wanted some sort of recognition for giving up one of her stolen goods. That's how this crew rolls.
No, technically that's Shelby. We cannot. She is not officially.
She was one of you guys. She was one of you guys during the show. You have to own that.
I don't want to be thrown into this.
You went to the Airbnb. How do I know you weren't the ringleader?
I was eating it. Num 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 num.
See, that's it. That's it, Jen.
Gabe,
that apple cake that looked so good that we didn't even get to try. Yep, there you go.
We're in trouble, Gabe. What are we gonna do?
Gabe's way of dealing with this is to not pay attention to it. He's the kind of guy that's if
that's
I
probably
ignore
what I
it,
should
he'll
have
go
did.
away.
He's working.
He's saying he's working. He doesn't have time for this tomfoolery.
Al is fine. So Alex says, I would just like to state my innocence in this matter.
You were there
I asked
too.
if we
There
should
is
leave
no
them at
innocence
the
for
booth.
anybody that stayed at that
Don't
Airbnb.
listen.
There is no
we'll
innocence.
Be fine. We could blame Matt. Matt, I know you're out there, buddy.
Because we know Matt in all his graciousness would not have done that.
No. So who's really? We got to really figure out who to blame here.
You.
I'll take the bullet.
Ringleader.
I'll take the bullet for the team. I'll take it. You're right. Jason, I apologize. Jen, I'm so sorry. They were delicious, though. So good. I apologize. No, my son, you shall not take this bullet. It was not you, Ryan. 'Twas I who killed the captain. I will do this. Bald man, you're not bald!
Wow,
Okay?
Chris, settle down.
I think I saw Chris eating during his game on Moonstone. Bald man, you have full head of hair.
So
Sorry, I got really passionate just now.
He deserved that, bald man. He deserved you to call him out.
I
He
actually
stole delicious treats.
No, I was actually
from people
given.
who believe in him, his friends, you might say.
I didn't have dinner that day, and I actually got Game Delay fed me cashews and some beef jerky. Yes, Game Delay. That's not true. I had to bail Chris out with snacks. You did bail me out. Shout out to Game Delay. Those cashews were fine. And as in fine, not as in like subpar, but fine as in fine quality. Thank you for your service. Hey, this is the 5-minute warning before I give you the 5-minute warning. So there you go. I got to get this back on track.
Oh, we're so far off track.
No, we're not. I didn't want to open that can of worms. We're back. Are these technically called pea shooters?
No, 6-shooters.
What's a pea?
But this isn't
What's a pea shooter?
6-shooter because these are technically flintlocks, so these shoot one at a time.
What classifies something as a pea shooter? Isn't that
I would
like an
assume
old
something
western?
that shoots peas.
Like, does it shoot?
It's literally in the name, Chris.
Does it shoot out peas or does it murder peas?
Yes.
I thought actually that was technically what the western thing was called, the pea shooter. I could be totally.
A pea shooter is like
I could be totally wrong.
a small caliber kid's gun.
Oh, okay.
It would generally be like maybe a derogatory term, like, what are you going to hurt with that pea shooter?
Oh, I see. That makes sense. They look like the old school pepper box that's flintlock.
Yep.
I do like the shape of these guns. They're fun. And they're really long, too. They're like little mini rifles.
Yeah, for him, they're like bigger than handguns for Shorty here.
I guess they're, yeah. proportionally they could be for a human.
Oh yeah, they'd be like small.
Yeah, good point. The more you look at it, the more you find out. I liked how that little pouch of red came out too.
Yeah, I'm really happy with all this. A lot of these colors are just base colors so far, but it's sizing up. We've got to do a lot of vibrancy work on a lot of these things, get the saturation up on like the yellow vest, but for base coats, I'm happy with where he's going. We really started spending time down here around the pants, and now the leather and the belt buckles, and of course the metal.
Yeah.
So now I will go and peek just a little bit of pure white. I'll put the white onto my blue, knowing that it is mostly dried up anyway.
Yeah.
Just because it might get a little bit of intrusion there, but I'm looking for this to be as close to pure white as possible. It might just drag a little bit of the blue into it.
If you are all not familiar with how our giveaways work, check this one out. Hit that link right there. Sign up. You only have to sign up once this year, and then we pick a winner towards $350. So make sure you're here. We go pretty quick. Chris might have to use the restroom. Probably should, huh, Jason?
I mean, you just spent all this time telling other people
The dilly bar
to behave like adults.
Dilly bar is going right through me. Bald man, the way you roll, you shouldn't need to go higher than 3. Okay, I see that there's some rolling debauchery interlocking mechanism things going on right now between Bald Man, Game Delay, and Chuck. Apparently, Bald Man's good at rolling, bad at rolling. It's all the Cookie Mafia ties. Okay, everybody calm down. We like your cookies, Chuck. We like the cookies. Chuck, did you guys play Conquest while you were out there? I think you might have. Jason, you got to send me your lists. I got to start getting some of those finalized.
I'll take screenshots of them and send them to you.
I would prefer them written out
No.
on a little sticky note.
No.
1 unit of sticky note.
No. Not going to happen. Sorry. I'm not even sorry. I don't know why I said that.
We did an OPR
Belt buckle.
Alpha Strike. Ooh, that's shiny. Same color, still looks different though.
What do you mean?
Like the it just looks sometimes like a little bit of a shade different, but it's just all the it's kind of like that texture video, right? Where you can paint with just these 2 colors, but they end up sometimes looking like a little bit of a different color.
Yeah, a lot of times it's how much of the influence of the colors next to it, right? Because your eye is interpreting things at very close proximity because of the scale that we paint at. See, that's why color choice can start to matter, and more in certain instances where you put bright colors next to, other bright colors might get a little clown suit.
5-minute warning. Yeah. That's your 5-minute warning, chat. Go do what you need to do. I'm going to go do the same thing. Actually, I have to use it.
But hopefully this is showing you, chat, the power of what 2 colors can do. Because we've painted a lot of this with just 2 colors. And you can still get a lot of really good detailing out of your work with just 2 colors. By taking the time to blend through those 2 colors, it'll give you the ability to perhaps do smoother blends, better contrast, all sorts of cool things you can do with it, and is always a really good thing to learn. Regardless of what you're painting, you don't have to always be painting non-metallic metal in order for this to work. But if you've watched me for a while, you know that whenever I paint non-metallic steel, silver, things like that, I'm typically only using 2 colors. My golds I use more generally, but steel is something that I love doing just with 2 colors, and that gives us a really nice kind of shined gunmetal barrel. Pop in real close.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good.
Any tips to rescue natural hairbrush that has dried paint in the ferrule?
Yeah, our brush soap will help you clean that out. I have a couple here that I need to clean that are like that. Don't worry about the dried paint. You can soak it in water, like load it with the brush soap and soak it in water if you think it's being cantankerous and having a real hard time cleaning.
Check that video out too.
But yeah, check our blush cleaning video, and that'll get you started in the right direction for sure.
All right. Gonna be doing the thing pretty soon here, chat.
What?
Doing the thing. The Weird West villains, all 3 of them, one lucky winner. He's gonna get everything. Isn't that right, Jason?
So I'm told. I don't know how this happened,
So
but
I'm told.
I'll allow it, I guess.
I mean, you do. You do allow it. You have done that. Technically. You are allowing this. I need that on record. This is okay, right, Jason? I hope so now. I hope so.
I mean, this comes out of your paycheck, right?
My paycheck?
Oh, wait, you don't get paid.
What? Paychecks?
Maybe this comes out of Gabe's paycheck. Gabe's the brand manager, so yeah. Only makes sense. This is promo. Either him or Kyle.
How about everybody starts paying their dues is more like it.
Guns! Get your guns up. I'm digging this.
All right.
Looking pretty cool.
Jason.
Sir, yes, sir.
We're just about there, everybody.
We doing this? 349, 350.
Couple seconds.
How many winners?
One winner.
One winner.
One gets all 3.
One winner gets all 3.
That's right.
Models. So you get back out a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Do you have all of them? I have them there, too. If you
I
need
do.
it. Oh, yeah, yeah. There you go.
Right.
Here, let me actually zoom out a little bit.
So you get Whiplash Willy?
Yep.
You get Sidewinder Slim?
Sidewinder Slim.
The Alley Cockroach.
Whoop,
and
whoop.
Rufus. Rufus the Tank.
All right. The winner.
I'm really psyched for this winner. Whoever gets these,
This
I'm
is a
kind of
great
jealous.
deal.
This is
really cool.
This is really
The
cool.
winner, the first winner, if they're here,
Get ready.
Chris Last.
Chris Last?
Chris Last.
Chris Last!
Chris
Congrats
Last, and we
if
go
you're here.
quick.
If you're not here, tough luck, next person.
We go very quick.
I need to go back and watch how Jason painted the pant. Craig Sean J, good. Good grammar.
Very
We
clever,
painted
Chris.
A
Nope.
pant. A pant.
Chris Last is first. Or like
Chris
Chris
Last.
first. All right. We go
No,
quick.
not that fast.
Not that fast, but I'm just saying. We
Chris
go quick.
Last, are you here?
You have to be here.
On Kick, on YouTube, on Twitch. Chris Last.
Chris Last.
Is it L-A-S-T? Is his name?
Yeah, it's Last.
Chris Last. Clearly, you're trying to rig it. Yeah.
Oh, is that Iron Lungfish, the guy that you had to call last time who wasn't here?
No way.
We put him back because that's how we do that.
Yep.
Oh no!
He's like, I'm not calling him.
No,
again.
sorry, I have to keep going. All right, next one.
Oh my God, if that's true, he's
I
been
don't know what
picked
to
twice
do.
without being. I mean, I can only lead a horse to water.
That's it.
I can literally only lead a horse to water.
All right, next one. You ready, Jason?
Here we go.
John Adams.
Like our John Adams?
John Adams.
Like John Adams, local John Adams?
It might be.
Oh my
Says
gosh.
John Adams. John Adams, are you here?
Oh my gosh. If John's not here, he's literally
No, John Adams did not win.
gonna be pissed.
No.
Isn't he dead?
No, that Jen, he didn't. He won the last time, but he wasn't here.
Not ours, like
Technically.
works at Monument.
Oh,
We have an local artist named John Adams. I don't know if that's him.
I don't know, but we have to keep going. John Adams, are you there?
John Adams.
Mm-mm.
John Adams.
Not rigged.
You picked a bad day to give up watching the stream.
Yep, no. The RNG
John
gods.
and Chris.
The RNG gods.
Rip. I'll have to poke him if that's him. And say, hey, John, did you enter our giveaway? Because you won today. Commando Ken, are we sure it isn't Adam Johns?
No.
Is that
All
you? It's only
All right.
rigged when they don't win.
It's only rigged. All right, next one. We gotta keep
John
moving.
Adams even commented on today's post that he wants one, and he's not here. Then it has to be the John, local John. And I will literally give him hell.
John,
All right,
I have to move on.
here we go.
All right, next winner. Sam Hubbard.
What?
Hubbard? Sam Hubbard?
Hubbard?
Hubbard? Is that correct? Hubbard?
Hubbard.
Hubbard.
Sam Hubbard.
Sam Hubbard.
Third time's a charm. Sam Hubbard.
Sam Hubbard.
Are we here? Sam Hubbard. That's not me. There must be a mistake. Hub Sammerd. Yes, Red Fay. Sam Hubbard.
Sam
Ron
Hubbard.
Hubbard's niece, nephew.
I'm not seeing it.
Sam Hubbard.
I think I got to keep moving.
November says, hang on one sec, changing my... That's not how that works. You have to be
Regardless,
able
we
to respond to
still
the
get a
email
s-
we have.
Yeah, we're still going to... You can't... All right, I have to move.
Reptile and amphibian, you click on the link that shows up in the chat from time to time, and it enters you into the giveaway. Chris will type it now. Oh, yeah, there it goes.
Takes a
Right, go
second.
to that link, enter in all your data. You get a number of entries for following us on social media and all that stuff, and then you're locked in for the year. If you win one of these weekly giveaways, you can't be chosen again for one of the 52 weekly giveaways,
Yeah.
but you're in for the quarterly giveaways, which we have a quarterly giveaway coming up because the first quarter just ended. So next week, we're doing the quarterly giveaway.
I guess so.
All right, so...
I guess that's a thing.
The quarterly
remember.
giveaways, and then there's an
Yes.
annual giveaway, one at the very end of the year. So there will be
Technically,
4
yes,
big
yes.
giveaways, and then 1 huge giveaway, and then the weekly giveaways too, which have been big too. So,
Next one. Murray Boyton.
excuse me, was that English?
Mm-hmm.
Roy
Boyton. Boyton.
Boyton?
Boyton? Murray Boyton.
Bernie? What was the first name?
Murray.
Murray Boyton.
Murray.
Murray Boynton.
Murray.
Murray.
Nope.
You're predicting 5th pick. Is this 4th?
This is fourth.
This is 4th. Murray.
Sometimes it goes quick.
Murray Boynton.
Murray Boyton.
Murray Moynton.
Nope.
Poop Tempest.
What a name.
What is the record for missed calls? 7.
7 or 8 or
It was
something.
the 8th pick that won is the latest so far.
All right. I'm moving. I don't
Yeah,
think
it was 7,
Murray's here.
Little Billy.
Okay. Next one.
So that was 4. I jinxed it with the meeting. Blame Gabe.
All right. The next one, this is definitely a Twitch name or a YouTube name. Eeks! It's literally spelled Eeks.
Eeks.
Eeks, are you
A
there?
lot of E-C-K-S. Eeks. Eeks.
I have a feeling that's definitely
Eeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
it's gonna be that way. But
Eeks. I've never seen that name speak, but that doesn't mean they don't
nope. I actually
they don't sit in the background.
that's the thing. That's happened a couple times already.
Eeks. That's your middle name? No. Eeks. Hello. Are you still here? Eeks. Turn your volume up. I wonder if some of these people like have the tab on mute.
They might.
Right?
Yep, there is. It's there. There is a username. But I'm not seeing it. You got to be here. I got to move. I'm going to move. Going once. Going twice.
Are they in chat?
I'm not seeing them.
Oh, okay.
You got to be here.
Okay.
Yeeks.
All right, that's 5.
Okay.
Yeah, the most unfortunate lurk.
All
Earlier
right.
but no longer. Rip.
Next one
Rip.
is
I hope nobody goes back and watches these VODs.
Royce. Royce. R-O-Y-C-E. Royce.
Especially to Chris, who's lost twice. Chris last.
Yeah, that's
Who's been
unfortunate.
called twice and not been here either time.
Yeah, and it's a randomizer, so based off of the number of entries, essentially. Rolls Royce. It is spelled Royce like that.
Royce.
Royce.
Roy, is this 6?
This is 6.
Oh my gosh, you guys are going for record tonight.
Yeah, it might be.
Royce.
Royce. Nice, Royce.
Speak up.
Yep, you got to be here.
Royce.
Hey,
No,
that
they don't
is-
get removed from the list. You get. That's
No.
why Chris last has been called twice.
Yeah, you don't get removed.
We don't remove you. You'll stay on for all 52 weeks. Little Billy's like, let's break the
I keep a
record."
record of who won, though, so you can't win up until the certain time of
Yeah, you can only win one weekly. But
and then you get
you can be re-upped for the quarterly and for the annual. So even if you win the quarterly, you're re-upped for the annual too. You can win a weekly, a quarterly, and the annual, and you can win all 3 if your luck is insane.
Yep.
As a Chris who was just kicked off the stream and got stuck watching an ad, you're making me nervous. If your name isn't Chris Last, you're fine. If your name is Chris Last,
Well.
ouch. All right, here we go.
All right.
My luck is also very
Kelly
sane.
Claude.
Kelly Claude?
Yep. Is that how that's
No,
pronounced?
Caudle.
Caudle?
Kelly Caudle.
Kelly Caudle.
Kelly Caudle. It looked like Claude. That's an easy
It did.
dyslexia name right there because it looks like Claude.
It
It's
did
Caudle.
look like
For some
it.
reason, it comes in. Kelly Caudle. Move the.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, nice. Okay, Caudle. Hurrah! We got you at 7.
That is.
Oh, we didn't break a record.
Was that 7 or 8?
We didn't break a record. That was 7.
K. Claudle.
Kelly Caudle, congrats. Yes.
Hit me up on Discord.
Yes. Make sure to join our Discord if you're not on there already.
Yep.
And message Chris, who is Christmas Sushi,
Yes.
on Discord. And Chris will get the conversation opened up with you on your address, real people name. Well, we know your real people name. And get your amazing texture trainers
That's
sent out
awesome.
to you. These aren't, you don't get these because these are mine. But you get the other clean ones that are over there.
Yeah.
There's 3 on the game table over there. So
There it is. Kelly,
Kelly
congratulations.
Call, congratulations. Thanks, everybody. Awesome.
There you go.
And we stayed within record limits, which is
That
good.
is right. K. Claudle. Thank you so much.
And we have a meeting, so unfortunately that has to be the end. But today we got a lot of work done.
We did.
We got to do the leather on the belts, on the boots, and then some non-metallic steel on his belt buckle, and the 2 guns, his 2 flint locks.
That's
So
right.
we got some work done there. The rest of the work on the flint locks will be non-metallic gold on the hilts and on the trigger guard, and then wood on the handles. We'll do polished wood on the handles, some like very dark, like probably black brown wood on the handles.
Yep.
And then we got to start back on everything else and start working in our values to build our volumes up to match what we've done on the pant and the non-metallic metal. So basically everything else we have to start bringing up to snuff because we have good base coats down, good building of contrast and textures. Now is where the real work happens and we start doing the detailing. Be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Hey, thank you so much. I will not be with you for the rest of the week. I am going on vacation tomorrow through the end of the week. And then Chris will be here with Baby J, bringing in some good entertainment, so make sure to tune in.
Yep.
You're going to get to see a lot of the one-step in action from Baby J, with lots of really cool stuff that he's come up with doing with it to paint some of the new StarCraft models. He's painting Zerg and going to have a ton of fun. So it'd be a great way to catch the new models for the StarCraft game, as well as seeing one step in action with another painter. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. So,
100%.
Love your faces. Don't go changing. Make sure to check out all the links we put up in chat. Thanks for all your support. Stick around. Chris is going to find you somebody to raid, so show some love in the chat we wind up in. And I personally will see you next Monday, but we'll see you again tomorrow. Adios, gang.